for the original Harry Potter film trilogy. There are time codes in the description if you want to jump around. We good on that? Great! Let's blow this thing open and go home. Book to film adaptations have been scarce in the early 2000s. Only a few ideas have captured the minds. But soon one director would bring forth a new idea. From Warner Brothers Pictures, this is Harry Potter, a complete retrospective. Unlike most of my retrospectives, this series is a three-parter. So that being said, let's dive in. In the early months of the year 1997, producer David Heyman searched for a children's book that could be adapted well into a well-received film. He had planned for The Ogre Downstairs, but plans on that fell through. So instead, Harry Potter was brought up to his idea. As the news was made official, Harry Potter would be a movie they would do. But now the question remained, who would direct? Well, the director's search already had one man. Chris Columbus, who would direct the film for a November 2011 release. As casting immediately hit up in the early months of the year, boom! In the early months of the year 2000, searching for names to play the main cast was made official. But then it was made official. In August of 2000, the names have been made official for Harry, Ron, and Hermione. As Daniel Radcliffe, Robert Alexander, and Emma Watson were cast as Ron, Hermione, and Harry themselves. And with more cast members already in place, filming immediately kicked off. As principal photography began in Levenswood Studios in September of 2000. But then on December 1st, 2000, the first teaser poster was released online. Oh, and you thought that was the only thing? You know me by now. You know what I'm gonna say. Because that was only background noise to boom. A full a little teaser trailer was released in front of C Spot Run. As marketing didn't let up. As Harry Potter began to air new trailers in the early months of the year, in the late months of 2001, trailers began to come thick and fast for Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. But then it all led to November 16th, 2001, where finally audiences could journey to theaters for the first leg of the Wizarding World. And in my opinion, this film's okay. Being someone who didn't get into Harry Potter by the movies and by the Lego sets, I had no idea what I was getting into. But a world of wizards and witchcraft? Not very intriguing at first. The box office for Harry Potter was good. With an 80% on Rotten Tomatoes, audiences already clamored for the sequel. Which would release in November of 2002. Dang it. As all the original cast returned with some new additions to the cast. As visual photography began on November 19th, 2001. And as visual photography continued smoothly, where would some footage begin to show where it's head? Well, not much. Matter of fact, the only teaser trailer we were given was released in front of the theater release of the live-action Scooby-Doo. Blech. I wonder if there's any teaser trailer. If there's anything I can do for some real dates for this stuff. Because I am not going to be using... Nope. But after the first movie changed movies forever, audiences could finally journey back to theaters because the day had finally arrived. On November 15th, 2002, only 1 year after the first film reshaped the movies forever, audiences could jump back into theaters for the second film in the Harry Potter series. Dun dun. This movie does good too, ranking in $882.2 million. You know, this movie is also good, but I can say I'm only saying this because I've seen part of it on Blu-ray. I own a box set. Well, a 2-movie box set anyway. I'm still after the other... Yeah, part 3 will take us until 2011. But this time, a wait for the next installment was real. Even though the first two movies released apart, that wouldn't happen for this version. As it was revealed that Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban had been delayed. But this was because of the strikes going on. And due to the actors' strike, they saw an opening. No, that was not the right one. But as the movie officially began filming, principal photography began on February 24th of 2003. The question then remained, where would we see some footage? Well, footage would officially release during the Super Bowl, as Harry Potter decided to market itself at the big game with the first minutes of full footage. Only giving us a taste until a full teaser would release in front of Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed. And again, sorry, I have a bad history with those movies. If I do those movies, you're gonna see barf. Because I hate those movies. That could put me in another review must go on idea. Which I'm not doing. As it all led to June 24th, 2004. June 4th, 2004. Where Harry Potter would not release itself during the November weekend months and instead chose to put itself in the summer. And third time's the charm. The movie did good at the box office. $808.550 million and a good 91% on Rotten Tomatoes. We will now have to wait, as this is where part 1 of our journey ends. We will begin part 2 with the next trilogy, as we begin the penultimate films towards the final battle. Until then, I'll see you guys later.